and share screen. So today we're gonna talk about something very important in Java and very important to know about Java. It's called switch case because in Python programming there is no switch case in Python programming. Okay, so today we're gonna take what is the meaning of a switch case because it's very important for all to know because it's a usage a lot in many programming in software programming. So you must know what is the usage of switch case. Anybody listen about switch case before? No? Okay. Let me explain what's the usage of a switch case. The switch statement or switch case in Java is a multi-branch statement. Based on the value of expression given, different parts of code can be executed quickly. It's the same like if statement or nested if statement, but more powerful. Okay, the given expression can be of primitive data type. What's the meaning of primitive data type? We're gonna talk about such as integer, character, or short byte, and so on. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about or gonna implement some simple program calculator. Most of all know about calculator. Okay, we're gonna implement simple calculator with structured programming and how to convert it to object-oriented programming. Okay, so keep attention with me, please. Okay, so the first task we need to create Java project using VS Code. I recommend to use VS Code because it's a powerful framework with a lot of extensions that help you to programming or increasing productivity. Okay, so how to create a new project Java in VS Code by press in if you are in Mac Command Shift B. Okay, so Command Shift B gonna create and choose Java create project. Okay, we and in Windows we can press Control Shift P. So no build tools and choose your location. How to choose your location? I am, for example, I choose desktop, and this my location, and I gonna name my project, for example, calculator app. Okay, so this my project. So gonna see some automatic file and have been added. Okay, so we're gonna work inside source files. The default file name is app.java. Okay, so the first thing I wanna create symbol calculator. Before we start programming in calculator program, we need to think in logic. What is the input of our program of a calculator? Can anybody tell me what is the input and what's the output of our program before we're gonna start to implement Java program for a calculator? Can anybody tell me what is the input of our program? No one? Okay. Anyone?
Scanner maybe?
What is the input and the out of our program in calculator? Need. Tell me what's the
Enter a
input.
number.
How many
And
numbers?
um, it's defined by the user.
Okay, how many numbers? Number one? One number, two numbers, three numbers.
Infinite.
What's the basics?
Infinite maybe?
Not we not talk about infinite number. We may have infinite undefined iteration, but we talk about the basics for our program. For our program in calculator, we're gonna have two numbers. Okay, number one and number two. And between the numbers, we're gonna add the operation we're gonna apply. Okay, that we can apply. So for example, if I wanna apply for addition, so the user have to enter number one and number two and choose the appropriate arithmetic operation. For example, is if it summation or subtraction or division and so on of variety of arithmetic operation. So basically, we have two numbers, one operator as an input, right? And what is the expected output? Is the result. Okay. Is that clear? So before we start to implement our program, we need to think about the input and the output. Okay, how to implement the program? It's quite easy. But before we start, we need to think the input and the output. Okay, for initialize input in Java, we need to define first scanner. Okay, so scanner like input
Okay, sorry.
till yeah, I'm hearing you.
Never mind. I thought your screen was paused.
It's work now, right? We can see now.
Yeah.
Okay, scanner input equal new scanner. This line called I initialize instantiate object from class system from class scanner. Inside argument I put system.input. Okay, don't forget semicolon because in Python we don't need semicolon, but in Java and C Sharp, C++ we must have semicolon at the end of line. So what is the next? I need to initialize num1 as like double. Okay, we have double for fraction numbers. Our number is fraction points, so double num1 equal input dot next what? Next double. Okay, for double num2 equal input dot next double. Okay, you know, see, you may notice that there an a warning message that tell us that you should put something like try and catch to prevent some unexpected error to happen, because maybe user can enter rather than number can enter strings that our program can be crashed. Okay, so we need to prevent that from happening by adding try and catch. We're gonna talk about how make exception handling in further lessons, but today we focus about the Python program. Okay, so what is the next? I need to answer what I should write next. What is the next input? Could anybody tell me?
Output.
Hey, hey, can anybody tell me? So I need to initialize the operator, right? The operator in which format? In gonna be character format, right? So character format for operator. Okay, input dot next. Can you notice that there is no character for next character? Okay, there is no next character. What I should I do? What should I do? There is no next character because what in Java? Can anybody tell me? So we choose the string one, but we need to add something that called dot character at index 0. That line what mean?
Sorry.
That line means that I need to accept from the user as a string. We don't have accept from user as a character, but we talk about we need to first character. So how can I choose the first character? By adding after next method add character at index of 0 that can be receive only character. Okay, so what is the next? In logic, we're not in Java programming. In logic, what's the next step should I do?
Professor, can you explain line 8 again? I
Line
didn't
8.
get it.
It's a I need to what is the input of calculator? Okay, it will consist of number 1, okay, number 2, and the operation, right? The operation might be what? Okay, for gonna comment something like that. So operator could be what? Could be plus character, right? Or could be minus, or multiplication, or division. So the input will be what? The input will be as a string, okay? And we'll choose first character of the string because we don't have to receive directly as a character, so we should have to receive first as a string and take the first character. So if the user enter plus, we need to add only plus. Okay, is that clear?
Professor, you froze when you explained this part. Like we couldn't hear you. Just
Okay.
now it came back again.
Again, okay, so I will repeat again. So from the beginning, I wanna to make a program for simple calculator. Okay, simple calculator. What is the input for calculator? I need two numbers. Okay, and between the numbers I need operator, right? So what is the output? Output will be the result. Is that clear? So before I start programming in Java, I need to think logic, the input and the output. So in the input, I need to initialize num1 and num2 as an input for double because our calculator gonna be in a fraction point, so double for fraction numbers, okay? And for sure the operator in which data type is operator gonna be integer or float or string. What is the data type of operator that the user will enter? Can you answer me about this question? What is the operator that the user gonna be enter? For sure, he enter operator like plus or minus or multiplication or division, for example, right? This operation is integer? No. Is float? No. It's a character. Okay. So how can I receive character in Java? I should first initialize variable call like for example operator from data type character. So input.next, it receive what? Which data type it will be received? It will receive input as a string, but we need a character. How can we get a character from a string? Okay, we need the first character, so add after next character at index 0 gonna be only take the first character. For example, if the user enter plus, it gonna receive plus as a character. Is that clear now?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, perfect. So what's the next step? What is the next? In logic, not in Java program. We need to think logic before we start our code. Okay, so what we need? The next step in logic. In logic, not in Java. So in logic, we need to check if the operator was plus, we apply plus between the two numbers, right? If the operator was minus, we're gonna apply minus operator between two numbers. If it multiplication, if it division, and so on. Is that clear, right? In logic, not in Java, not I think about program. I think about logic. So I need to check the input of operator. If the operator, so I need a switch. Here's the rule of a switch. Okay. So how can I apply a switch case here? So a switch. And if you don't familiar with syntax of Java, you can type the first character like switch and choose that one and press tab. Tab will continue automatic the syntax of operator. So I have now switch. A switch gonna consist of the case that the variable gonna be changed. So what is the variable that gonna be changed? Is number one or number two or operator? What should I put here? What should I put here?
Number one and number two and the
No,
operator. You put all of
no,
them?
no, no. What is will be changed? According to what operator I gonna be
Sorry, Professor, I cannot
apply.
hear you.
You hear me now? What is the role of a switch case? Okay, so a switch which one will be switched according to which input? According to which input? Okay, what it should switch to be switched? Okay, number one and number two it will be fixed from the user. Okay, but if the user entering plus, so I will apply plus operator, right? If it entering minus, I will apply minus operator. So the change in what? In operator, right? So I gonna switch what? a switch between operators, not between numbers, right? So the switch will be manipulated with the operator, not with numbers. Okay, so I should put here operator. Okay, in case in what? I have how many cases I expect to have? I have, like, for example, 4 cases. The first case is plus operator, right? In plus operator, what should I do? What should I do? I should print the result of the addition, right? System.out.print line. So what should I print? Num1 plus num2. And I break from program because I only make sure that I apply only one operator. Okay, is that clear? Okay, and don't forget to break. Okay, can you help me to continue my program? What is the next case?
System.exit.
No, no. What is the next? I apply for only operator plus. What is the next? If I want to apply for minus, what should I do?
Case minus.
Create another case.
Yes, the same thing. For minus operator, right? I gonna apply minus. It switches the same like if statement, if else, but in switch case, it's only implement one statement, okay, and then break, okay, but it's more powerful, okay. Instead of if else, it's gonna be more complex, but in a switch case, it's more readable, more organized, okay, more logic. So this for case minus. Okay, so for I add for multiplication, so I need for multiplication here. So for multiplication, I gonna multiply the numbers. So for division, I gonna what? Divide the two numbers. And what is the meaning of default? Default may be the user cannot enter plus or minus or multiplication and division. He may enter in something wrong. So in the default, I gonna print system.out.
Doctor,
Yeah.
what's the difference between switch and if statements?
Okay. If a
Is it
statement,
shorter
if
syntax?
it's yeah, okay. If a statement, it's in many programming. Okay, it gonna ensure that only condition can be happen. If condition happen, it's okay, true. Otherwise, I will ask again and again. But when you use multiple if statement, it's gonna be more conflict, right? So it's not readable. So if you have multiple conditions and you make sure that only one condition will happen, so you better use a switch. I can make that program with if statement. How can I translate to if statement? Very easy, right? Like something like that. If operator equal plus. Okay, I make something like that and put here your action. Okay, okay. What's the next? Else if, right? And continue until finish the whole program. But it's gonna be complex, not logic to make nested if. It's not logic because it's gonna increase the complexity of your program. So a switch is more readable. You can modify easily. You can notice your code easily, right? So you understand now. So I can make it with if statement. It's okay, but switch is more organized.
Got it.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So what meaning of the default? The default means that the user entering number and entering operator out of scope. So if the user entering out of scope, I need to show to him that is it's invalid input. So something like I want to make something message invalid input. Okay, and pre. So I may ask the user here to enter, like for example, okay, system dot out dot print line enter first number. Okay, and we may sure make that we may slash in. Okay, for new line, and for the second we can apply second number. Don't focus about this. It's a placeholder. It's not our code. It's like a comment. Okay. So for the next one, we need to ask him to enter the operator. Okay. So let's run our program. Come on.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver speaks to
Something here error, I think. On Java. So what is the first number? I can like 5, second number like 6, and operator like plus. So 5 plus plus, the result will be 11. So I apply here simple calculator based on the input as two numbers and operators, and according to the operator I gonna switch. If the operator gonna be plus, so I gonna apply plus operator. If the operator gonna be minus, so I will apply minus operator. And if it's multiplication, I'm gonna apply multiplication operator. If division, it's gonna again be apply division operator. Is that clear for all? Is that clear for all? You
Yes,
are clear?
Professor.
Yeah, it's a good now,
It's
right?
clear for me.
It's a clear
It's
for
clear
all. Okay. So can I convert this code to object oriented?
Yes.
Yeah, I can. Because if you notice that here, I need to make like more validation. What is the input? If the user will enter, cause the program to crash. Can anybody tell me? Yeah, it's a built-in function here, like if statement. But in Python there is no switch, but in Java we have a switch case. Okay, but built in. Okay, so what is the input? If the user entering in our program gonna be crashed. If the user input something like try, can anybody tell me about what is the input? If the user entering, it's gonna be crashed. Our program gonna be crashed.
Any operator that you didn't mention.
No, not about any operator. It's about here num2. If the user enter 0, let's try. So let's try. Let's run our Java program. Okay. Let's try
It will
for
crash.
like 1 and 0 and choose division. So it's gonna be infinity, no output. Okay. So we need to make sure that the next the number 2 in division cannot be 0. We cannot divide by 0, right? So if we convert our code to object oriented, okay, and when we set our num2, we will make sure that mustn't be 0. Okay, we can make this with our object-oriented when we convert our code to object-oriented. So how can I convert? So first thing, I need to create what? New file called like calculator or operator.java. It's up to you. Okay, so what is the instance variable? What's the instance variable?
Number 1 and number 2
Private, yeah, private
and operator.
num1, perfect, double num1. So what's the next? Private double num2 and private what? Character operator. Okay, so I will make like get and set for all. Get and set for all. So quite easy. I can also make like a constructor. So how can I initialize constructor? It should be public. Okay. It should be public.
Public calculator.
Calculator. It should the same name of our class. Okay, perfect. Yes, sir. Okay. So no return type, no void, no anything. So the default constructor with no parameter can I initialize num1, for example. Num1 it can be 0. Okay. Sorry, num1 can be 0. And num2, for example, cannot be 0. For example, can be 1. Okay.
Professor,
Yeah.
this is no argument.
Yeah. This no argument parameter. No argument constructor. Okay. This is the first constructor. Okay. When here in our program, so I don't need that one. For example, I will delete not our control X. Just something. I think it will end right now. You hear me now? Okay. You heard me?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
think 5 minutes before ending. So the constructor will be implemented once I instantiate object. So once I make calculator, like C equal new calculator. So when we call the new and calculator, it's gonna be implement what? The constructor that I have made. So don't forget. So what inside number 1 and number 2? So now inside number 1 and number 2, num1 is 0 and num2 is what? 1. So once I instantiate object in that line, so it will call here when I apply new calculator, it by default it can be called the constructor that I have made, okay? And initialize the instance variable num1 as a 0 and num2 as 1. So if I want, what's the next for my class calculator? I'm gonna public, okay, like double sum, okay, it's gonna be double A double P, right? So what is the sum can be? It's gonna return what? A plus B, right? This for the first operator. Okay, so here I can make something like that. C dot sum, okay, and pass the variable. It can be taken from the input, okay, but I need to get from the class scanner, right? So I will write scanner input equal new scanner system dot in. Okay, so what is the next? I don't know what's the next. I hear like I make like system dot out dot print enter first number. Okay, So the first number will be sitting up, right? So the first number will be sitting, right? So I make like double or C dot sit where our yeah here I make here after here. So C dot sit num1. Okay, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be like from the input dot next double. Okay, so I set number1 for from the user, okay, from scanner. The same thing for what? Num2, right? Num2 gonna be from the user. And we ask about something for here. This for second number. Okay, for the operator, can anybody tell about the operator? Like that. And next what? Next, it's gonna be like character, like so. Next only dot add character of 0. So this not number2. This will be set what? Set operator. So operator will be something like that. Okay, I will clear here. So I put here. So now I can apply for here some num1 C dot get num1 and for the next C dot get